Tim Lyons and Randy Exton.
All right, welcome back to the Built to Grow podcast. I'm your host, Tim Lyons, in studio, Scottsdale, Arizona, at the ProFit headquarters. Joined in studio, as always, with the Zeus of Zen, Randy Exton. What's up, buddy?
You know, it's only appropriate to close out the year with a Z.
There you go.
It just dawned on me as we did it.
By design, baby.
Yeah, yeah.
All by design. This is the final podcast for 2019, and we're going deep into the woods for our 2020 predictions on this show. But before we get into that, I want to remind everybody about the automation workshop.
Yep.
Happening February 6th and 7th here at the Keep headquarters, Chandler, Arizona. How do they get in on that?
pfmarketingsolutions.com/automation.
/automation, that's right. And on that webpage, you're going to see tiered pricing. The seats are very limited for this.
Yes.
This is, you're going to take exactly what we're running at Pulse and what I've been building for gym owner after gym owner, doing the automation, and we're talking client life cycle. We're not talking just lead gen. We're not just talking about nurturing. We're talking about the whole kit and caboodle here, from lead to appointments to conversions to non-conversions, non-shows, canceled appointments, frozen memberships, follow-ups, everything that you can imagine. It's all done through automation. This is exactly how I run Pulse Fitness. Zach is using it. Our front desk girls are using it, and it's seamless. There's no point in any section of this thing that somebody can fall out of communication. Yep. You're going to know exactly where everybody is at all times, and that's what makes this thing gold.
And let's be honest, we're building this out one-on-one with clients right now, and they're spending, $10,000 for the 2 days of build out.
Yep.
This is your opportunity to get essentially, what am I trying to say? Like, the build out itself is going to be pretty similar. It's just the way that it's facilitated, right? It's going to be done in a workshop, classroom setting, but it's your ability to save a little bit of money, getting into a classroom, have essentially the same benefits coming out. Mm-hmm. You're going to have it, everything like Tim explained, from the lead to the clients, every touch point that you can imagine.
Absolutely.
It's going to be handled. So, guys, dive in. If you have any questions, jump on a call with me, pfmarketingsolutions.com/call.
And what I would tell you guys is this is going to be done in early in quarter one. I know quarter one's busy. I know it is. But you can literally fly in on a Wednesday night and fly out on a Friday night. You'll be out of pocket for Thursday and Friday, back in the saddle on Saturday at your gyms. You're not going to miss a beat. Mm-hmm. And the fact that you're going to step away from the chaos of quarter one, February, and just sit down and knock out this thing for 2 days is going to last you 10 years from now. This isn't one of those, here's a play for the marketing, and next month we got to change it.
Yeah, we got to figure something out. Yep.
This is, you can use it all year for year. Like, I've literally been using something very similar to this for 10 years.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've had variations of it to some degree that we even used to introduce to other gym owners. Yep. But this is it's amazing. It's like your client touch point in a box.
Yep.
And but I mean, to speak to that, what this system's going to do, if you're on the fence because you think it's busy, you guys are going to make more money. You're gonna leverage the rest of the year better than you could potentially. If your fears of losing a couple days of business, this will make you exponentially more successful throughout 2020.
It's a no-brainer, and hopefully there's seats still left. If you go to that website, pfmarketingsolutions.com/automation, and there's no spots left, sorry. I mean, that's it. We can only do 25 in this, and that's the real deal. We cannot facilitate more than that just because it's so demanding on us. But that being said, let's get deep into the weeds for our predictions for 2020. I asked a couple of our Iron Circle members, give me some topics. Let me hear what you guys want to hear about. And like 3 or 4 of them came back, dude, tell me about what you think is going to happen in 2020. And really, this is coming, and I'll tell, as we go through this list of things that we're talking about, I'm going to tell you why I think that.
Sure.
It's not just going to be a blanket, hey, this is what's going to happen. I'll tell you that I made a prediction at the end of last year about that 6-week challenge. That it was gonna die at the end of quarter one. And I was telling people, if you're running it, run it hard until the end of quarter one, because it's not going to work anymore.
It won't be around.
It was gone.
Yep.
Like quarter 3, quarter 4 is gone. So I don't know. I feel like I kind of know what I'm talking about, but Depends on who you ask, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we speak with a lot of gym owners. We work with a lot of gym owners. You own a facility yourself. I mean, you can't get closer to the situation. Obviously, we educate ourselves in every corner of the business, you know, so we're constantly doing what we can to provide these types of answers if you guys have those types of questions. So like Tim was getting at, this isn't just a whim. These aren't just personal opinions. Yeah. This is the conversations that we're hearing, that we're getting back from other gym owners, that the marketplace is talking about.
Yeah.
You know, it's the reason that we're confident in predicting what we see next year.
Let's dive.
Let's do it.
You got your scuba gear on?
I'd love to, but
Let's do it. All right, number one prediction for 2020. I think, and you think, class-style gyms are going to be on the decline. Now, not necessarily on the decline in the fact that they're going to be opening up, but I think they're going to be harder and harder to generate revenue out of.
I agree.
So I do think there's going to be plenty of new franchises that come to the table with this large group class-style approach to it, but I think it's going to be harder and harder for those gyms to maintain in this market. I think the end users looking for something a little bit more, and you lose quite a bit of loyalty to other class-style gyms because you're all the same.
Yeah, there's
You're
not enough.
A bunch of people in a room getting sweaty. That's a class. That's what the end user thinks. So what makes a boot camp different than a TRX studio versus a kettlebell studio versus a spin class versus a boot camp? Well, I said boot camp to a interval style place to a somebody in the park to a spin with all these things.
Sure.
Like Orange Theories. It's a class.
Yes.
And we know just from our resources that in an Orange Theory, it's a 3-month lifetime for a member. They join in January, they're gone in March.
Which is difficult because the objective of that business is so heavily rooted in sales, consistent new business. And it's hard to scale and succeed when
you're leaving.
When people are, there's a constant churn.
Yeah.
You're forced to address that problem. And if you can attack sales, and if that's what you want to be as a fitness owner, is constantly rooted in just sell, sure, you can absolutely do well. But for those long-term, sustainable, growing, and I think that's what we're getting at, is it's going to be difficult to see those things really accelerate and have multi-facility owners and things like that in the realm. So.
Yeah. And, to piggyback off, this class-style gym is on the decline as far as, I guess, not revenue, but probably profit or market share. I would say the low price point class-style gyms even in a worse position. Like I've seen a lot of $99 places and $89 places that are doing these boot camp style, large group team training style stuff. I just don't see it, man. I don't see that standing the test of time.
Exactly.
And that's why. You're gonna. It's a big churn business. There's nothing special about what you do versus the guy down the street. That's not even in the same arena. But to the end user, you guys are both class-based places, and it's a bunch of people in a room getting sweaty. This one's 150, and that one's 99. I'm gonna go over there.
Yep. And
then that one, this one's 89. I'm gonna go over there. And it's just this constant churn. So, anyways, how do we combat that? I would say having multi options for your clients, and we talk about that in our Ascension model, like in our Ascension systems,
sure,
within our private client coaching. There comes a point where somebody either burns out. I'm talking about the member of your gym burns out. They get the result they want, and they want something. What's the next thing for them? If you don't have that next thing, well, by default, they got to go somewhere else to find it. Yeah,
exactly.
So be heads up. If you're just running a single option, large group style studio, let's have a chat. We got some ways to fix that. All right, next one.
The shift in marketing.
Marketing.
And I think that some of this might go hand in hand because, again, your marketplace only knows what you tell them. And so if you are running a single service like that or a low barrier, low cost facility, and all your marketing is saying is buy my stuff for $99, your marketplace is looking at you the same way as they're looking at the gym down the street or your competition down the street, who's doing the same exact thing. I think that we're going to continue to see the trend of direct response, which is positioning an offer or an ad for a specific offer usually rooted in scarcity and urgency to push a consumer into making that decision to buy.
Right.
I think that we're going to see less and less of that, obviously, as the cost and the social media costs for advertising and the competition, everybody's run there. It worked extremely well when we were some of the first to market and doing this for other facilities as well, and it crushed. But here we are, fast forward, Facebook, I think we're coming into fifth year, sixth year in its ad platform. And the thing that's going to, in my opinion, is going to really differentiate the facilities that can stand the test of time are those that are going to provide the solution to a client's needs, the solution to the problem.
But the marketing has to explain that.
And that's that's what I was getting at. So providing content, providing value, positioning, usable videos, like we talked about on our last podcast, right? The podcast itself is us giving away value.
Right.
We don't ask for anything in return. We appreciate shares. We appreciate you guys, spreading the word, comments and things.
Ratings.
But we're not charging for this. And it's given away as a piece of value. We want you to take what we have to say and be able to use and apply it to life. Look at that as look to business. Look at your business and what your marketing is saying in the message that you're presenting to your marketplace is saying. You should have similar things being presented to the people that you want to buy your services.
Yep. And there's no reason why a local gym can't do a podcast like this.
Absolutely. You are.
We're doing it. Our clients are loving it.
Yeah.
And really what we're doing in our podcast in the gym is similar to what we're doing now for gym owners. We're trying to help educate and give away content for the end user. And that's what we're doing. And time will tell, but I'm pretty certain that it's going to generate plenty of revenue for us just through the podcast. So marketing shift less direct response into to define direct response. Let's just give you an example. Buy my thing for $99. That's it. That's like it's an ad. Like an ad. Like it's a coupon. A coupon in the paper.
Yeah, and going back, I don't remember if it was Todd Brown's course or something, when I was out there or when we were out there for our weekend with him. But there's a definitive difference between marketing and selling, marketing and sales. And for some reason, fitness just throws it all in the same mix, and we think that we can sell to the end user 20% or 100% of the time without providing that like, trust, and respect factor, without building a relationship. Marketing is about changing somebody's belief systems and allowing them to be bought in the message. Now sales comes in after the fact, and you are the answer to their needs. Now, why we just have all just slapped our consumers in the face with our ads for so long, I think that we're going to continue to see that shift take place, and people stopping that, having a good understanding that it's a longer buy life cycle for that client to step into your facility. Yep. But when somebody does, you have their buy-in. Right. They're walking in with a credit card. You're the solution to their needs. You're like an indoctrination campaign. Like, you've sold their beliefs. The sale that needs to take place is already handled.
Yeah. It's just this technicality that needs to happen once they get there.
Yep.
Okay. Similar to what's on this list, I think video is continuing to be the king. They may now be the emperor as mediums. I think video, it continues to be the most digested piece of content out there. People watch video all day, every day. And in your videos, I think you need to tell the story a little bit better. So I totally agree with doing some tips and give value through that. I think the ones, and who does a really good job of this is John Farkas in St. Louis. He has videos that he's created, him and his video team, in the gym, that have millions and millions of views and shares and all types of great reach just in his storytelling. He's just a great storyteller. I think you need to invest in a storytelling video or several storytelling videos that tell the story of who you are at the gym.
Sure.
What do you stand for? Digital Marketer did a great video. We talked about it once, I think, on this podcast, and it was called We Believe. And if you haven't seen that video, go Google it, or look on YouTube. It's called We Believe, and it basically was a quick cut edit of all their employees of what they believe in as a company. And you better, I mean, John did one.
Yeah.
And I've been talking about wanting to do one. It's just doing them.
Sure.
It needs to be done. I think that's going to be one of our first videos that we do in 2020, the We Believe video. I think you guys should do the We Believe video and just do it like they did it, because they're great and it tells the story. And if somebody watches that video and they resonate with that, that's where they're going to want to go.
Exactly. You've got their buy-in, and that's the big thing. That's the decision-making. We buy from emotion. The logic comes in after the fact.
Yep.
Keep had that other video. What was that titled? That was a really good one because, again, it was about the problem you were experiencing and the solution. They didn't talk about the fact that it was a software platform that provided all of this.
Wasn't that great? That's another great video.
It's great marketing, right? It's about the problem somebody's experiencing, making it relatable through a story.
So good.
And then providing the solution at the end.
So touching. Yeah. So it's an emotional-based video selling. So video, so your type of marketing is going to shift away from direct response into storytelling and definitely being used in video. Okay, good. We got that out of the way. Boots on the ground approach. So here's our next prediction. I think, it's funny. There was a time that Facebook didn't exist for marketing. And any gym owner that's less than, say, 5 years old, if you've opened your gym in the last 5 years, you don't know how hard it used to be. It was difficult. It was hard to make a website funnel. It was hard to get eyeballs on that. It was hard to buy traffic. There was a lot of black hat crap going on out there. There was SEO companies that were just, it was the Wild West.
Sure.
Facebook came around, made it really easy for the end user, the small business, to create ads and run ads and get eyeballs on their stuff. Before that, it was boots on the ground.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're running this whole cycle again. We're coming back to the boots on the ground method. And what boots on the ground method is, you're knocking on doors to businesses, you're making deals, you're doing lunch and learns at corporations.
Networking events.
You're doing networking events.
Direct mail, maybe like, snail mail type stuff.
Yeah. You're back to flyers. And I mean, granted, it's 10 times more work. But when you get those relationships and you build business relationships with other businesses that have like clientele to you, that's a huge win-win.
Yeah, there's leverage there.
Yep, they come in and maybe present to you and your team. You go out and present to them and their team and their clients, and you have a presence in all these local businesses. And it's hard. In fact, I was just in South Carolina with Sean, who's one of our private clients, and he's amazing at it because he's been in the business 20 years.
Yeah, 21 years almost. Yep.
And he's got 5 coaches, and each one of those coaches has to make 5 connections a week out in the market. And there was times like I was in his gym, and he got everybody rounded up and like, you go down this street, you're going down this street, you're going down this street. And those trainers went out and got those deals. And then the next day there was people in the gym that they had just met the day before because they did the exercise. And Sean's a stud at this. I went to dinner with him. He was making sales to the manager of the restaurant we were at and a waitress at the breakfast place we were at. He was just, in what he has as a skill set is very hard to find.
Sure.
He's not afraid to talk to people in the market and know that he has the best solution for their needs.
Yeah.
And that's the one big takeaway, was his confidence that he knows that if they come to his gym, he's going to get them results. He believes that hard in his product, so it was not like him having to step out of a shell to go try to make this happen. This is just who he is.
Yeah, and like the Zig Ziglars of the time, these old sales coaches and things like that. They talk about that. When you believe in a product so much, emphatically, right? This is the solution. You're not selling. You're actually doing an injustice if you're not sharing, because if you believe in something so great, it is our obligation to share things that we believe in, right? That you want to truly provide a solution to somebody's problem, you better open your mouth. If the weight of the problem was on our shoulders to solve the obesity epidemic, would all of us gym owners and all of us in the fitness realm be speaking differently? Absolutely, right? Now, let's just take that and make that our stance. If you believe in it as much as we say we do, and we believe it as we express that we do, then go out there, do the work, create a relationship. You're out there literally trying to help somebody.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So back to boots on the ground. This also goes hand in hand with our 2020 predictions that Facebook's going to be as hard as ever to get a return on investment. I would say by, social media company I was talking to the other day, they told me that the cost for Facebook advertising has increased 20% per quarter since quarter one of 2018. 20%
I don't
per
doubt that.
quarter. So within 5 quarters, they were up 100%. And then another 5 quarters, up 100%. And so do you think it's getting harder and harder to get leads from Facebook? It's because the CPM, or the cost per impression, is increased 20% on average since quarter one of 2018.
I mean, was it halfway through last year we did the numbers, and it was 10x from our initial ad spend or cost per impression? Yeah.
So it's not that Facebook ads aren't working. It's because it's the cost you have to put into them to get them to work the same.
It's a diminishing return.
That much
is what
higher.
It is. Yeah.
Therefore, your cost per lead goes up, and then all of a sudden, am I getting a return? So 2020 predictions are there's going to be something else other than boots on the ground, because we said boots on the ground is going to be probably going to need to be one of your biggest marketing strategies again. But there's going to be something else. What's that other thing going to be? All signs point to YouTube right now.
Yeah.
All signs point to YouTube. But what does that mean? Video, guys. We just talked about video being the emperor of mediums. YouTube is going to be the place where you place those videos.
I mean, look at just in the last few months, let's say 2, 3, last quarter of the year, TikTok.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean.
Everybody's talking about it.
Exactly, right? But it's become, when the Gary V's and everyone starts to throw those apps out there, right? People start to pay attention. That is, from what I've understood, it's crushing Snapchat's platform.
TikTok, I'm not certain that you can buy ads on right now. I think it's just organic.
I agree. It's more the organic reach, though. But as far as the exposure to the end user, everyone's shifting focus there. But again, is that going to hold the test of time? Is that going to turn into an ad platform? Is that going to pay off? We don't know, but something's going to come along, take some of the market share, and
that I don't think TikTok. Like my prediction, since we're making some bold predictions here, I don't think TikTok's going to be the answer for.
I 100% agree. I was just using that as an example.
But that's video based.
Yep.
Right. I don't think that's going to be anywhere we're going to spend any money in the fitness industry, unless you're shooting for a really young client, really young client.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't see that being, but YouTube for sure should be on your radar. I think you should be there now.
I completely agree.
We're there. We're there now.
The hard part for a lot of facilities and understand when you move to YouTube is it's video based.
Yep.
So that from intention, you have to be prepared to have a video ad, things like that presented to the marketplace. Great place, guys. We're talking the second largest search engine in the world, next to Google.
Yep.
What do you do if you can't figure out how to do something?
YouTube it. Google it.
Yeah.
So okay. So a couple more trends coming up here. So our prediction for 2020 is that the client experience is going to make the difference.
Yep, comes back to the center focus.
So going back to the client experience from the second they park in your parking lot, to the walking in the front door, to the smells, to the sounds, to the cleanliness, because there's too much damn competition out there. I was in that small town in South Carolina, and there was more damn gym options than I had never. I mean, it seems like there's more than there were even here.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they're in like a tenth of the size. And I just see so many options. There was anything from a CrossFit to a boot camp to his studio to 2 or 3 big box gyms. There's a Planet Fitness there. There's another CrossFit-esque style that we know.
Oh yeah.
We know the owners of, and I'm like, wow, how? Okay, so client experience is going to be king for 2020, and that goes from everything from sending your clients welcome gifts and 6-month gifts and 1-year gifts and happy hours and wine mixers and holiday parties and appreciation and rewards programs and T-shirts and recognitions and highlighting your client successes, making them putting them on a pedestal.
Yeah,
that's the client's experience we're talking about, because there's too much competition. If you deliver all of that, you're gonna shield yourself from some of the losses, the attrition, because people want to be with you.
Absolutely.
Okay. 2020 predictions.
And some of that can go back to your client experience. Some of that can go back into the message that you bring into your marketplace and the videos and the storytelling. If you've got a clientele base that is bought in, that, if you got clients that have been with you for some time, I know obviously we could go out here and there's tons of them that would be more than happy to give their buy-in, their testimonial, their message.
Correct.
Source that from your clients as well, because there's a lot of the things clients speak to are the intangibles, are the community feel,
Yes.
are the things that you can't put that on your brochure as something that you offer, because it's not something you really offer. It just exists within a facility.
Right.
And those are the hard things that everybody wants to have, but you have to execute the client experience really well in order for it to happen. So when I like the idea of pulling from your clients and getting the stories from them because they're going to mention things that are not, hey, I lost 15 pounds this month, or, this last few months, or whatever it is. It's I showed up and so-and-so went out of their way, or this happened to me and they sent me a condolences card, or it's all of those things that are outside of the result that keep people wanting to be there, that build that community feel, that create the relationships, amongst clients and things like that.
So client experience.
Big.
Yep, goes to, so this is something that I think every gym listening should focus, all hands on deck. You need to create, it needs to be by design. You can't just hope that your coaches are going to do something to make that client feel special. It has to be by design. So think about that on how you're going to be better than the guy down the street. Okay. Next 2020 prediction, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of gym closures.
I think so too.
Led specifically from the type of marketing that they were using in the past, because that type of marketing doesn't work anymore, and they don't know how to do anything else. In fact, I know this is going to happen because I've already seen a gym near me close, and I also saw a gym out in South Carolina that ran the same style of marketing close. And that's just going to keep happening. It's because there's nothing else other than that thing, that play, that their gym was built on a marketing strategy that doesn't work anymore.
Yep.
And they've got a bad reputation for it, and they're closing. They are closing. In 2020, we're going to see this mass rush of these mom and pop style gyms that ran marketing strategies just closing their doors.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a number of them that all kind of look for that magic bullet. Everybody's looking for that one answer to, hey, let me just hit autopilot. This is going to work, and then I'm just going to ride this out through the end of time. And we know that that's not the case. Systems, diversifying where you're speaking, the media platforms, the types of marketing, the boots on the ground approach. Some of those things, it's not a marketing tactic. That is. It's a growth strategy. Successful businesses do these things over time.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
And we need to start looking at our business like other businesses do outside of fitness, and it's creating relationships. It's highlighting that client's recognition. It's the experience. It's not just how can I get more leads through the front door this month and hope that it works again next.
There you go. Final prediction for 2020. Marketing, authenticity, and transparency.
Yep.
It's kind of been in every single one of these, actually. Yeah. You need to be authentic. I think fitness has been tarnished in the market. In fact, it already had a bad reputation to begin with, from hardcore ironclad contracts that you can't get out of, to personal trainers that are unethical and unprofessional. Sure. That's what the market thinks of us.
Absolutely.
Not us, but like the
industry.
Industry. So the gyms that can be authentic and transparent in their marketing approach and to their message are going to win. People want to know the person behind.
Yeah, I was going to get there. Yep.
Behind the results they're going to be getting, right? They want to know who the people are that they're going to be working with. And if you can highlight that through #video, you need to do it. And I think I would even go a little bit deeper in saying that you might even want to look at hiring a video person for your gym that's a creative type that knows how to do video editing, that can, like on a whim, jump out there and do a video for you, and then jump back in the office and edit it and get it out there, because that's going to be what you need, right? And so that's the number one reason we built this podcast studio right here in the gym, is because when we have an idea, we need to come in here and just shoot.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's how we've been able to do it. So I think maybe even having a video person on your team might be something you should think about.
And we can speak to that from some of the things that we've done over time. When we were managing the other gyms lead generation, Facebook ads, and things like that. Like even when we brought them into a sales page, it was not our generic. Like we had a template, but we branded it to a specific facility
using their images.
And we can speak with a definitive result that when a gym did not provide their own clients' photos, or when a gym owner was not comfortable putting themselves, fitness director or somebody else in the assets themselves, the return was always less.
Yes.
And people, there's nothing. Kelly, another one of our clients.
Yep.
I've always commended her for the video that she does. I mean, she's comfortable in her studio. She's willing to be in front of the camera, and it speaks volumes. People walk into her facility, and when they sit down with a consultation for her, they go, "Oh, you're the person I saw in the ad." Well, yeah. I mean, this isn't Coca-Cola where some giant firm is designing it, and all of a sudden, the end user is like just experiencing it. No, this is exactly who you're walking in to meet.
Yeah, we're too small of businesses to not do that.
I agree.
Yep. So we're not too big to put ourselves out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We got to be the ones out there on the camera. You got to have your clients in those photos. You got to highlight them because they love it anyway. I mean, to be honest, they're going to share it. They're going to share it with their friends. Look at sharing that. And so authenticity and transparency, it goes hand in hand with what you're saying. Just be the person on the damn funnel or on the ad or in the video. You be that person. Who better else to be that person?
And at the end of the day, the story that's being told is probably your story. It's your belief. You're the capstone of that organization. Everything that trickles down is a something from you, essentially.
Yeah. The unfortunate thing is I'm seeing funnels out there using like generic images right now. Right now, there's a company out there, I won't name names, that has like scantily clad women on their Facebook on their funnel. And I'm talking to gym owners. I'm looking at it, and I've seen this thing over and over and over. Like, is that the client in your gym?
Mm-hmm.
The answer is always 1,000% no. I go, you're scaring the shit out of the clients.
Your average,
you're scaring them.
Yep.
They don't even want to come in here because they think that that's the person in your gym.
Who do we talk about? We talked about that with one of our coaching clients.
Yeah.
And even with, guys, you don't need to highlight the biggest transformation in your facility either. It doesn't have to be the, oh my God, jaw-dropping, 100 pounds lost over a year. Like, that's great, and we all obviously commend that type of work. But at the end of the day, your average person's problem is the average, solution that you need to be providing.
Yeah.
These people want to lose 20, 30 pounds. They want to feel a little bit healthier. They want more confidence. They definitely want to look good naked. Like, at the end of the day, it's really just some of that. Like, find the clients in your facility that are your everyday clientele and let them tell the story or tell their story to the marketplace. And you're going to be amazed at how other people that are just like them, your avatar client, can now resonate with that individual.
Yes.
No, they don't get the bikini models and the shirtless guys and the things like that because, again, it scares them. It's too far. And when we can shorten that, we're too close to the problem. We say it all the time. Look at your marketing, look at the message, look at everything that you're doing through your average client's eyes.
Eyeballs, yep. And you know what? There's a great opportunity out there. And this isn't all like scary world. I mean, I think the gyms that adopt this approach are going to be big winners in 2020.
I completely agree.
I think there's going to be more $1 million facilities out there than we can count after 2020. I really think that with the gyms closing, with the bad marketing that's been in the past, the ones that are doing it right, they're going to gather up and scoop up all those clients that are leaving other places. And I think those are the gyms that are going to be big winners.
I've been having this conversation with our coaching clients for at least the last 2 months as far as making sure that the content, the value, all of that's ingrained in what they're doing because there's no way around it. I mean, we know just the difficulty. You guys want to talk math? You can't afford to continue down the direct response route. Nope. We started the game when we were doing it. Our average ad spend for a complete campaign was $400. Fast forward till end of last year, it was almost $4,000 for a 3-week ad campaign. Now, if you're going to continue at the rate that we just talked about, a quarter, what was it, 25% every
20% every quarter.
Guys, you don't have most facilities, and especially the mom and pop style, personal training gyms, you guys don't have $15,000 to throw in an ad spend every 3 weeks or every other month to hope that you can close 6, 10, 15 clients.
Yep.
There's still risk, there's still reward, but the cost to play the game in that realm is going to continue to go up. And if you're not changing what you're doing in that game, then you're going to be forced to either sit by and watch everyone else collect that can, or you're going to watch yourself not use that platform.
Yep.
And it's tough, but there is. I completely agree. I think that there's going to be a massive skyrocket of the gyms that embrace this, are ahead of the curve, start making this everything they're doing now, because everyone else is going to catch up.
Yep, it's going to happen. So jump on board now and do it. It's going to be an interesting year. I'm going to listen to this episode in December of 2020 and look back and see how right or wrong we were. I mean, these are predictions. We're only telling you this from what we're seeing in the trends and what we think. You know, we may be wrong. Sure. I don't think we are, but you know, there's going to be some stuff in here we weren't exactly right. But nothing's going to change from client experience. Nothing's going to change from having multiple different offerings in your facility to send somebody up. That's the basic principle of just about any successful business. They've got different good, better, best things. In authenticity, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. If you're authentic and transparent, you can't lose doing that. So these are foundational things, and I think it's going to all go back to the grassroots approach of doing the hard things over and over. You know, like Rick said, the 20-mile march kind of thing. Yeah. Every day you do the things that are boring, and you do them because you have to, because it's the right thing to do. No shortcuts in 2020. Do the right thing in 2020, and you'll see the success. You won't be struggling and trying to figure out what the next play is.
Yep.
Because there is no play. I'm telling you right now, there is no magic bullet anymore. If there ever was, it's gone. Okay? It's gone. Facebook ads, those were the magic bullet. That's gone. I mean, it's just not the same.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah.
So, hey, you gotta overcome and adapt. And those that don't, those are the ones that are gonna be closing. And guess what? The ones that do, you're gonna get their clients. So, take that to the bank. 2020 predictions, guys. Have an amazing New Year's.
Yeah.
Because this is episode. This is our last episode for the year. It's the 31st, New Year's Eve. I appreciate you guys. You know, take a nice deep breath and get ready to put, you know, strap up your chin straps and put your pads on. Let's go to battle, guys, because this is it. This is not a hobby for most of you. It shouldn't be a hobby. Go all in and crush 2020, guys. If you need help with this, if you need somebody to talk to, book a call at pfmarketingsolutions.com/call. Jump on with Randy or myself, guys. Until we talk to you again, keep changing lives and keep crushing. Talk to you on the next episode.
Take care, guys.